Hey ladies and gents, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back. Now today is another first my channel. I've done many prediction videos for nominees, but this is my first winners prediction video, and that is for the Critics' Choice. The winners will be announced on the 6th of March, so you're going to have one video now, and then I'm going to have another video on my final predictions just before the award ceremony. But before we get into all of this, please remember to like, subscribe and comment, and if you're feeling extra generous, just to ding that little bell. And also, scan these barcodes, go to links in the comments, or follow the names directly on your screen to follow my social medias. The Critics' Choice are very important in certain categories for predicting the Oscars, especially in a lot of technicals and picture. In a lot of places where films don't win anywhere else, apart from Critics' Choice, they go on to win Best Picture at the Oscars. The Departed and Spotlight are the two main examples that I can think of that have happened within the last 20 years. And whilst I still definitely think an upset can happen, I'm still having Nomadland as my number one for winning Best Picture at the Critics' Choice. I still think Charles Chicago 7 is going to win at the Oscars because I think it's going to get Golden Globes and PGA, but I think the BAFTAs and Critics' Choice are going to go for Nomadland. Whilst places such as Oscars and PGA, DGA, and even Writers Guild to a point prefer the films that go for the emotions, Critics' Choice and BAFTAs are a lot more highbrow. They're more interested in a well technically made film. There have been exceptions to this, just like last year when Once Upon a Time in Hollywood really surprised and ended up winning Best Picture. But more often than not, the Critics' Choice Awards are quite predictable in what they're going to give Best Picture, and whenever something doesn't win Best Picture there that's predicted, it's a really strong sign that there could be an upset at the Oscars, such as Spotlight. And I think it's one of the main reasons a lot of people had hope for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood winning at the last year's Oscars, because it won the Critics' Choice. If there is going to be upset, it will be from either Promising Young Woman, Minari, maybe The Trial of Chicago 7. Promising Young Woman and Minari are the two critics films outside of Nomadland that have been winning a lot of critic circles. Promising Young Woman could win Screenplay, Actress, Director, be a very nice bundle for picture, not just here, maybe at the Oscars. Same goes for Minari. It could be a surprise where it gets foreign language, supporting actress, maybe screenplay, gets Best Picture. But the same can go for Trial of Chicago 7, because that's probably going to win editing. It's going to get support. It might get supporting actor. It's got a very good chance of getting screenplay. Another nice bundle for picture. So these are the four to watch out for, in my opinion. Trial of Chicago 7 is definitely the least likely out of all of them, but because it's a front runner for the Oscar, it still could happen. I know I did say in my predictions for the nominations video that Sound of Metal could win, and I'm so happy to see it here. I think that his chances have gone down since then because it hasn't gotten Best Picture anywhere else, and I just can't see it happening. The Five Bloods is definitely the most critics films out of the ones left for me to talk about, and whilst I think it could have had a chance of winning in a different world, the fact it's just been missing out everywhere, including the Golden Globes, the place that should love the Five Bloods most, it just doesn't make me think it's going to happen anymore. Mank One Night in Miami are just not happening. Mank was the deemed frontrunner, and Critics' Choice could be the people to give it to Mank, but do you really think that's happening when there's Nomadland, Minari, and Promising Young Woman in contention? No. And now Marries and News of the World are just kind of the two Oscar feel-good, baity films they get in that just won't win anywhere, especially Critics' Choice. That's not to shit with Marries Black Bottom, I liked it a lot. News of the World, I'm still pissed off it took The Fathers and Judas and Black Messiah's place. Best Director, Chloe Zhao is absolutely winning here. Even if we live in a world where Emerald Fennell or David Fincher win Golden Globes and somehow in some weird love and surprise lead on to get the Oscar, Chloe Zhao is still absolutely winning here. She's been absolutely sweeping the Critics' Circles Awards, getting all of them. She's only missed out on like 3, and the ones that she did lose were to Emerald Fennell, which is why she's my number 2 over David Fincher. Emerald Fennell could be the upset because Promising Woman's more mainstream than Nomadland, and Critics' Choice do steer more mainstream than the Critics' Circles, but still, I'm 90% sure it's going to be Chloe Zhao. If Chloe Zhao doesn't win here, whoever wins here is winning the Oscar. It's just going to be like that, because it's got to be Chloe Zhao here. It's got to be. Lee Isaac Chung and Spike Lee are both very well-deserved nominees. Are definitely not winning, though. And Aaron Sorkin and Regina King are just the nice, shouldn't really be here, but when they're 7 spaces, why not? Like the honorary nominees. Best Actress. You don't need to have your eyes cleansed. Yes, I've switched my number 1 to Carey Mulligan because I think she has the best chance of winning the Oscar. Because when I watched Nomadland, Piece of Woman, and Marries Black Bottom, I didn't get that feeling evoked from me that this is a Best Actress winner. With Promising Young Woman, I did, and I trust my feelings a lot whenever I do get it. It's helped me make some predictions in the past. Sometimes it hasn't, but more often than not, it usually steers to a win. So I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm going to say Carey Mulligan is going to be the sweeper this season. Because not only did Frances McDormand sweep a few years ago, her performance in Nomadland isn't what the awards usually go for. Very kind of to herself, doesn't show much emotion. I just can't see them going to her. Vanessa Kirby in Pieces of a Woman, I have a feeling that that first 30-minute scene of her giving birth may be enough to steer them off giving her to the win, because especially Oscars, maybe not so much Critics' Choice, which was my number 3, but the Oscars are definitely a lot more kind of highbrow like that, and they may just be like, ugh, repulsed by it. I hope not. Vanessa Kirby would be my personal pick, and then Carey Mulligan. But I'm not going off my personal picks. Viola Davis could be the winner. If she'd absolutely be winning if she was campaigned and supporting. But I would say this is a case of Catherine Ford. She isn't the lead actress. She's more supporting. She's fantastic in it, but the fact that she has such a supporting role in lead just won't help her. I mean, it worked for Olivia Colman, but more often than not, it just doesn't work. If Zendaya was getting in at other places like Globes and Screen Actors Guild, I may actually have her higher, but she hasn't been getting anywhere else. This does seem like the place where she would win, but she's missing everywhere else, so nah. Andra Day and Sydney Flanagan are almost like honourable mention nominees. Like, there's no way in hell they're going to win, but it's just nice to see them here. It's nice that they can at least call themselves nominees. Best Actor. Every day, I'm flip-flopping from Chadwick Boseman and Riz Ahmed, maybe even Anthony Hopkins, because it'd be the sensible thing to give it to Chadwick Boseman. That being said, Riz Ahmed and Anthony Hopkins, albeit this is a subjective opinion, give the better performances. Not only that though, but they're definitely the more critics performances. So I can absolutely see any of these top 3 winning. I'm going with Chadwick for now because he has the most hype behind him. He's passed, it's their last chance to give it to him, and I feel like they will want to honour him. Not only that, he did get in for supporting actor when I didn't think it was like here, so it does show that the hype's there for him in this category as well. Number 4 is Delroy Lindo. A few weeks ago, he would have been my number 2, but seeming as he's been getting snubbed everywhere, it just shows that he just doesn't have the hype going for him, and I just can't see him winning here. You might be wondering why I've got Stephen Yeun higher than Gary Oldman when Gary Oldman getting in at more places. Stephen Yeun's just a more critic's choice. I don't think he's winning, but that being said, if they did hypothetically afterwards like release the polls and show you like how close the voting was, I do think Stephen Yeun would still be higher than Gary Oldman. And then that's kind of how I've decided it for where I put Tom Hanks and Ben Affleck. I'm tempted to put Ben Affleck higher because his nomination alone shows that he's got a lot of hype at the Critics' Choice Awards, but I'm not sure. I'd say Ben Affleck's way better than Tom Hanks, but I'm not one of the voters. Best Supporting Actress. I say Ye Jung-eun is going to win here. She has Screen Actors Guild, which shows the hype's there for her. This is the crazy performance. She's been sweeping the critic circles. People love Minari, and people love her performance. And if there's any place that's going to go to her, it is Critics' Choice. And I'd say it's the most sensible one to have your number 1. But equally, right up her ass is Maria Bakalova, who is the other critic sweetheart. She could easily steal this from her, and if she gets this and Screen Actors Guild, I'll 100% predict her for the Oscar. But that being said, there's also Glenn Close and Amanda Seyfried, and this is probably the place where they're both most likely to win. If they are going to win the Oscar, but not other places, this is the most likely place. But if either of them do win, I'm 100% predicting them for the Oscar. Same goes for Olivia Colman, because I know that she'll get nominated, but I just don't think that she's in for the win. And then Ellen Burstyn's been snubbed everywhere, so she's pretty dead at this point. Best Supporting Actor. Daniel Kaluuya is absolutely winning. He's absolutely winning. I think he's going to be the sweeper of the season. Even at Golden Globes and SAGs, where Judas was snubbed at other places, he still managed to get in. He's going to be the J.K. Simmons of this year. He's just going to win everywhere. He is incredible in Judas. He's still to show. I can't see it being any other scenario. Unless Leslie Jr. somehow steals it from him here. Out of the 2 ensemble films that are here, which are None Matter Me and The Trial of Chicago 7, I would say Leslie Jr. has a lead. As I say, that's a film that the critics will appreciate more, while Sacha Baron Cohen's a more kind of pleasery performance that audience would like in general. Paul Raci could be a surprise upset, because I know the critics love him, people love his performance, everyone's behind him. He has been getting snubbed other places, which is why I don't have him at number 2. And then Chadwick Boseman and Bill Murray are like those honorary nominees I like to talk about. I'm 90% sure that this is going to be Daniel Kaluuya's. Best Original Screenplay. You may be surprised, but how can I say Promising Young Woman's the runner-up to win Best Picture next to Nomadland without having a number 1 somewhere? And not only that, like I've said, I don't think the Trial of Chicago 7 is going to be as popular as Critics' Choice as it will be at other places like Golden Globes, PGA, and Oscars. And because Promising Young Woman does have hype to be like the Get Out of this year and win the Oscar, I'm absolutely having it number one for Critics' Choice. This will be the place it wins. Even if Trial of Chicago sweeps everywhere, it'll be like Greta Gerwig last year for Little Women. She'll still win here, I think. Aaron Sorkin could still definitely happen, and if he wins here, I'd say his win for the Oscar is locked because he's going to get WGA, he's going to get Golden Globes, and he's probably going to get BAFTA, if not Promising Young Woman for BAFTA because it's a British film. Mank and Minari are my 3 and 4 because they are definitely the most screenplay films in this whole category, next to Promising Young Woman and Trial of Chicago 7. Mank is a very screenplay film, and if it had more hype going for it in general, it could be the winner, but because that's all kind of dead, it's just going to be The Irishman of this year, I think, where he gets nominated in loads of places, but just doesn't win. It'll probably get production design, actually, but nowhere else. Sound of Metal and Never Rarely, Sometimes Always are very nice to see here. Both fantastically written films, both flow very nicely. Not going to win, unfortunately. Best Adapted Screenplay. I know. You're all shocked, but trust me, I don't think Nomadland's going to be winning screenplay at these award circles. I think people are predicting it because it's one of the front runners for picture. But Nomadland, it just isn't a screenplay film. Yes, it's well written, it has some nice scenes of dialogue, and the nomination is nice and worthy. I wouldn't say it deserves to win, and nor do I think it is the winner. It just isn't much of a screenplay film, and it's going to be like last year when everyone thought Irishman was just going to be the winner for Best Adapted Screenplay everywhere, and then it didn't win a single thing, and Jojo Rabbit swept. I just don't think Nomadland's going to be winning, and I'm looking at this list, I'm saying, well, what is the most likely winner outside Nomadland? I'd say it's The Father. It's based off a well-acclaimed play. The screenplay, out of all things, for The Father, next to Anthony Hopkins' performance, has got the most praise. It's very dialogue-y, it's got twists and turns, it's very complex films at times, not in terms of your understanding of it, but from the character's perspective. So yeah, I would say The Father is the most likely winner. I know people desperately disagree with me, but you know what? I'm going out on a limb in this one. I'm going to call it for now The Father. Like I say, I've got another video coming before the ceremony. I could change my mind, but for now, I'm going to say it's The Father's. The most likely to win outside of The Father and Nomadland would be One Night in Miami, because that's the only other screenplay film left in this category, but I still can't see it happening. It's going to be The Father or Nomadland. Same goes for Marini's Black Bottom. I'd say it's very much in the same boat as One Night in Miami, but One Night in Miami is more so the screenplay film. So first cow, so happy to see you here. I was predicting it, but I didn't think it was a likely prediction. I'd say it was at the lower end of films likely to get predicted, which is why I have it here. It's definitely not going to win, and News of the World is just a bit of a joke, the fact it's nominated. For those of you who saw my review, you'd know I thought the writing was shit. Best Film Ensemble. I'd say The Trial of Chicago 7 is winning here. Yes, I know Critics' Choice aren't going to love Trial of Chicago 7 as much as other places are, but even still, it's going to win here. This is like the ensemble of the decade, and it's just going to sweep the Ensemble Awards. It's going to win SAG Ensemble. It might get 2 supporting actor nominations at the Oscars. This is just the Ensemble of the year. Even if you don't love Trial of Chicago 7 and you do think it is kind of Oscar bait, you can't deny the Ensemble is fantastic and they all work together brilliantly. I understand that some people may not like the idea of giving Ensemble to Ensemble purely of white men and one black man, but at the same time, that was just how it happened, and that's just the history of it for you. The surprise will be Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, though. Viola Davis, Chadwick Boseman, all those men in the orchestra worked very well together to make this very tense film where you can just feel the tensions rising in this one place, like 12 Angry Men. Minari could happen if they really want to honour Minari and kind of apologise to it for the fact it's being campaigned in foreign film when it's so not a foreign film. But I can't see that happening. One Night in Miami was a definite nomination, and honestly, I'd say these 2, 3, and 4 could all equally be upsets, even though I still think the Trial of Chicago is a lock, but these are all equally as good as each other and could all equally be an upset. The Five Bloods and Judas and Black Messiah just aren't winning at this point after what they did to it at the nominations. Best Young Actor or Actress. Helen Zengel is winning. The upset will be Alan Kim, but it's probably Helen Zengel. Do I need to go on anymore? No. Best Comedy Film. It'll be Borat, subsequent movie film. The surprise will be Palm Springs. Do I need to go on anymore? No. Best Foreign Film. Much like the Golden Globes, I think Minari's got the edge, but another round could win. Because 1, another round equally as critically acclaimed as Minari, and 2, another round is the pure foreign language film. Minari just isn't a foreign language film. Yes, more of the film's in Korean than it is English, but it's still an American film and it's not an international feature film, which is why they need to cut this bullshit out and change the name of the category to stop shit like this happening, because Minari should be campaigned here, and it's through no fault of the film zone, but it is just category forward because it shouldn't be campaigning this category where it just shouldn't be eligible. So for that reason, I think another round could be the upset. If not, maybe the live ahead, because Sophia Loren. But equally, they didn't nominate Sophia Loren here where I thought they would, so that's probably dead. Best cinematography, Nomadland is absolutely winning. Mank could be the upset, but Nomadland's been running more the critic circles. The cinematography is beautiful in Nomadland. It's taken the lead for the Oscar for the win. How could I say no for Critics' Choice? Mank could be the upset, but equally, I could see First Cow being like the Critics' Award of this year. Like last year when they gave costume design Don What's Name, this could be this year's that, because First Cow has very unique uses of colours and camera angles. A lot of people, clearly they've seen it and they recognise it. First Cow could win here, which is why it's my number 3. And then 4, 5, 6 and 7 are just all kind of like, yeah, well done, you're nominated, you're not winning. I'd say this year's actually quite weak for cinematography, outside of Nomadland, Mank and First Cow. Best costume design is a toss-up between Ma Rainey's Black Bomb and Mank. Take your pick. I've gone Ma Rainey. I know they like to be quite democratic with these awards sometimes, and I think that Mank will get production design, and I think Ma Rainey will probably get costume design. And whatever wins here, I'm absolutely predicting for the Oscar, because this place is so accurate for what goes on to win the Oscar. Like when Black Panther won costume design and production design, when everyone thought the favourite was going to win. Personal history, David Copperfield and Emma could also happen. They're both very costumey films, both period films, and these award shows do like to honour those type of films. But equally, I don't know whether that'll be Critics' Choice because of the fact that they did give it to both Black Panther for both production design and costume design. At first, I actually wasn't for Promising Young Woman's costumes, but then when I thought about it, Promising Young Woman does actually have some unique uses of costumes, and I'm beginning to lean more towards why they would nominate contemporary films. Best production design. Mank is winning. It's won every single Critics' Circle Awards. I just can't see why it would stop here. This is Critics' Choice Awards. It's going to win the Oscar. Mank is just winning. The upset would be Ma Rainey, but equally there's no point me talking about this category more because just Mank is winning. Best editing. At first, I thought The Trial of Chicago 7 would just be a lock for everywhere, but then I remember last year they did give editing to 1917 when it wasn't even nominated at the Oscars. It clearly shows that Critics' Choice appreciate long takes a lot more than Oscars and BAFTAs do. So I do think that Nomadland does have a shot of winning here. Trial of Chicago 7, the editing in that film is the directing, and I feel like Critics' Choice will appreciate that and give it the award. But equally, Nomadland, which also does have the hype to win at other places, because it's a Critics' Choice Awards, it could also win here. Sound of Metal also has fantastic use of editing in how it tells the story, and I can absolutely see both Sound of Metal and The Father actually winning for that reason, because it does seem like the Critics' Choice Awards does seem like the one place it will win, even if it don't win anywhere else. Mank and Tenet, good for you, you had good editing, will give you the nomination, you're not winning, especially Tenet. If Tenet wins, I will literally have a heart attack out of shock. Best hair and makeup. It's either Ma Rainey or Hilby Elegy, because it's going to be Viola Davis versus Glenn Close in this category. Both complete transformative roles, and it's going to be a case of which one the Academy appreciate more. I have actually given Hilby Elegy the edge here because of the fact Glenn Close's makeup makes her more transformative, whilst with Viola Davis, you can tell it's Viola Davis who's just put on a lot of weight and is wearing a shit ton of makeup. So for that reason, I think Hilby Elegy does have the edge. I know that a lot of people think it's Ma Rainey. In fact, Ma Rainey does have the higher odds. Looking back on the past and what else they've given it to, Hilby Elegy aligns with it more. Best score. Soul is absolutely winning. It's been sweeping the Critics Awards. It's going to go on to win the Oscar. It's going to win Golden Globes. It's just going to be the sweeper. It's going to be like last year with Joker. It's just going to sweep everything. The only thing that could stop it would be Mank, which is also Trent Reznor versus Atticus Ross. So either which way, I think this will be best case scenario, because they're going to win either which way. That being said, Minari could upset. Minari is my personal favourite score of last year. It's a lovely score. It's very peaceful. You can just lie down, listen to it and fall asleep. And maybe Critics' Choice will appreciate that. But still, that's just me speculating at this point. it's going to be Soul. Best song, it's going to be Speaking Out from One Night in Miami. It's going to be like The Shallow this year. It's the standout song from a frontrunner written by a celebrity. It's kind of what people take away from the film the most. I'd say it's just winning. The only upset could be Diana Warren for The Life Ahead, because she's so overdue at the Oscars, and everybody wants to get on board with her finally winning an Oscar. Critics' Choice may do the same thing, like what they did with Glenn Close for Best Actress, but still, I can't see that happening. It's going to be Speaking Out for One Night in Miami. And finally, Best Visual Effects. I did have Invisible Man as my number one, but after it missed out the Oscar shortlist, it shows how little love there is for it. So I'd say at this point it's Tenet versus Midnight Sky. Tenet has the more unique use of visual effects, whilst Midnight Sky has the more better visual effects. So I can see the argument for both of them winning. I've gone with Tenet because it was the blockbuster of this year, the film that tried to help save theatres. If Critics' Choice want to honour Tenet somewhere, visual effects will be where they honour it. Mank is also a case of unique uses of visual effects, but that being said, a David Fincher film's never won visual effects for doing the same thing in his previous films, so I can't see why I'd do it here. And Wonder Woman 1984, Mulan and Greyhound are all just kind of same old nominations. They're not going to win here. But with that, ladies and gents, that caps off my Critics' Choice winners nominations predictions February edition. You'll next see me for one of these just before the Critics' Choice Awards, or probably around about the 4th of March maybe. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and if you're being extra generous, just to ding that little bell. Leave your predictions down in the comments below. You'll be seeing me in a couple of days for another special vid. I hope you're looking forward to it. But until then, so long, ladies and gents.